in boxing, but I do think when you actually come up against a proper, serious boxer, and I suspect that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. may be that person, it could all come crashing down.
Piers, is that you think that your opinion matters?
No, I don't think it's good. I think you train hard, but it's not good fighter.
The point is, I think he's coming into this fight with the right approach, with the right mindset.
According to boxing analysts, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. will knock out Jake Paul in round 5 of their forthcoming fight because of Chavez Jr.'s strength, experience, and ring IQ, concluding the bout early. Many consider this to be Jake's most difficult test against an experienced foe.
So I've just interviewed your opponent, Julio, very confident, says he's going to knock you out in the 9th round.
Yeah, man, he's a dumbass, and so it's gonna be apparent on Saturday when he's the one that gets knocked out.
July, when asked about Jake Paul's abilities, Cesar Chavez Jr. said without hesitation that despite the younger fighter's commitment to training, the results are simply unimpressive. According to Julio, boxing is more than just putting in a lot of effort in the gym. It's about instincts, rhythm, and actual fight experience qualities Jake hasn't yet demonstrated on a professional level.
But one thing I've gotten off him during this week is that he's viewing this fight as at least a pathway to some form of redemption. He's not going to get all his fans back. He's not going to redeem himself on the eyes of the fans of his father. But if he can beat Jake Paul and beat him convincingly, maybe don't think quite so much about quitting against Daniel Jacobs or against Fanfara or that terrible performance against Anderson Silva. Like, I think the point is, I think he's coming into this fight with the right approach, with the right mindset. I promise you, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is not just here for a payday. He is not just here to collect a check and to get whitewashed by Jake Paul over 10 rounds. He's coming to win. He may not win. Jake could turn out to be even better than maybe people generally think. But he's coming to win, and I think it's going to be a competitive fight.
A figure in a blunt criticism, Piers Morgan lent his voice to the mounting doubts over Jake Paul's boxing career. According to Piers, Morgan highlighted that Jake had not yet faced a legitimate professional boxer in his prime. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is the boxing community's eagerly anticipated challenge. There is increasing agreement that Julio Jr. has the ring IQ and technical skills necessary to defeat Jake Paul.
YouTube this, YouTube that, Disney that. This shit is not a joke. I'm knocking out the best of the best, beating all of these people time in and time again. And it's about time that you old heads and all these fucking boxers who think they know about the sport put some respect on my name.
Yeah, but you're not going to you're going to make a ton of money. Listen, I think as a businessman, you are brilliant, right? I give you full credit for that. When you took on Mike Tyson as a business enterprise, there's no argument. You absolutely crushed the numbers, crushed the money and everything else. But the idea that you can say on the one hand, I'm a killer, I get in the ring with the best people, and you get in the ring with a guy who's 50, he's literally nearly as old as me.
I'm not talking about Mike Tyson. I'm talking about Anderson Silva, Tyron Woodley, champions in their sport, Golden Gloves champions, Ryan Borland, Andre August, undefeated fighters. The list goes
but
on and on.
What great boxer have you been in the ring with?
Former world champion on Saturday, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., son of the greatest Mexican fighter of all time, besides me, of course. Like, I don't know what you guys want to see. I tried to fight Canelo. He ducked out of it. You asked him about that. You said he's going to kill me. So what do you want, Piers? You're laughing when you say, oh, Jake is going to fight Canelo. I think you would kill him. But then you're like, oh, you're not fighting this guy. You're the problem here with this whole situation and criticism of my career. I'm trying to fight the best people, and that's why Chavez is here on Saturday. I want Canelo. I want Anthony Joshua. I want all these people. It's been 5 years in this sport.
But the problem is the only proper boxer you fought was Tommy Fury, and he beat you. And he's not even the best. He's not even the best fighter in his family.
Golden Gloves champion Andre August, Brian Borland as well. Anderson Silva was an undefeated boxer. I mean, you can sit there and make up shit, but you actually don't know your facts. I fought multiple boxers with professional records, and including Mike Tyson himself, who I think is going to be a harder fight than Chavez.
According to veteran trainer Robert Garcia, Chavez Jr. only has to show up and box to win. He doesn't need to do anything special. Garcia said the outcome is determined solely by the class disparity. For anyone without the right professional seasoning, Chavez Jr.'s experience, natural talent, tactical acumen make him a formidable opponent.
I love that dude. He's cool as f***. I love that dude.
He's gonna win.
Okay, if he wins, what does it say?
Nothing.
Chavez is gonna win.
What does that say if he beats Jake Paul?
Not much, just a good win. A lot of millions of dollars, and then maybe do a rematch, which is bad. Make a lot of money.
Renowned combatant when it came to the matchup, Manny Pacquiao made a clear decision. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Pacquiao, who is renowned for his keen boxing senses, believes that Chavez Jr. is a better fighter than Pacquiao in the actual world of boxing. Julio has a strong advantage in the battle because, to his experience and pedigree, Pacquiao's support is credible not just because of his Hall of Fame record, but also because he understands what it takes to be successful at the highest level.
But yeah. Asking about Jake Paul. Who do you got in the Jake Paul fight?
Jake Paul and Chavez.
Julio. Viva Julio.
Viva Julio!
Julio.
Bro, chat.
Julio's winning.
Oh, that's Manny's manager. He's putting it out there.
I'll see you Saturday night. Viva Julio.
Contrary to what detractors anticipated, boxing insiders say Julio is going into this battle with all of his might and isn't depending on his name recognition or prior accomplishments. He's working out hard. His mentality change is essential, especially in a sport where underestimating someone may cost you everything. It involves being focused and viewing Jake Paul as a real task rather than an easy paycheck.
But one thing I've gotten off him during this week is that he's viewing this fight as at least a pathway to some form of redemption. He's not going to get all his fans back. He's not going to redeem himself on the eyes of the fans of his father. But if he can beat Jake Paul and beat him convincingly, maybe you don't think quite so much about quitting against Daniel Jacobs or against Fanfara or that terrible performance against Anderson Silva. Like, I think the point is, I think he's coming into this fight with the right approach, with the right mindset. I promise you, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is not just here for a payday. He is not just here to collect a check and to get whitewashed by Jake Paul over 10 rounds. He's coming to win. He may not win. Jake could turn out to be even better than maybe people generally think, but he's coming to win, and I think it's going to be a competitive fight.
Experience is frequently the decisive factor in high-stakes bouts. As veteran boxer Gabe Rosado explained in detail. He pointed out that Julio has seen it all, but Jake is young and has momentum. Ferocious battles and the rigors of true professional boxing and championship rounds. Rosado asserts that training camps and demonstration fights cannot replicate or take the place of the years spent in actual combat.
I really don't know his habits. You know, he has a bad track record on, preparing. But look, man, if Chavez comes in at least 60%, then I think Jake really has a fight, because one thing that Chavez has is experience. He may not have the youth, and the agility that Jake has right now, but he does have the experience. And I think that experience would give Jake a problem.
I completely agree with you. I think this is an excellent fight for Jake Paul. Officially, he is 11-1, but he's really like 2-1 as a boxer.
Yeah.
He's fought Tommy Fury. He fought a couple of no-name cruiserweights. I guess if you want to throw Mike Perry into that list, you can say he's 3-1, but against guys that are traditional boxers, he's a 2-1 fighter.
In a forceful and almost prophetic tone, Julio Cesar Chavez, a legend in his own right, spoke up for his son and told Jake Paul that what was ahead was beyond anything he had ever experienced. Soon, Chavez Sr., this won't be another incident. He believes in his son's potential, not just because of his genes, but also because he has personally witnessed the sacrifices Julio Jr. has made to regain his concentration and form.
He knows exactly what to do. Jake Paul just fought against Mike Tyson, who didn't even throw one punch. This is not Mike Tyson. You are going to get your ass whooped.
No hay manera de que le gane Jake Paul.
There is no way Jake Paul can.
Esta preparación que hizo Julio, Jake Paul no la sabe, ¿entiendes?
This camp, Jake Paul doesn't know
Va a salir a tirarle chingazos y Jake Paul va a andar corriendo como gallina.
Julio's gonna go in throwing some serious punches, and you're gonna be running like a chicken without a head.
Onlookers doubt that this next showdown is genuine. There are increasing concerns that this bout may follow the same predetermined pattern, given Jake Paul's history of taking on older retired sportsmen and YouTubers. However, others contend that Jake's career will not be much enhanced if this is only another publicity gimmick. Unlike Jake, even a marginally underperforming Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. poses a serious threat if the bout is truly competitive. Julio has the battle scars to show that he has faced high-level opponents. Even if he is past his prime, that alone lends him credence.
Let's talk about this one here. This Saturday, June 28th, we've got Jake Paul. He's gonna take on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And I don't know if this is a real fight or if it's a fake one, so let's talk about this. Alright, let's say this is a real fight, because I don't know, you know, I don't want to sound like a hater, but some of Jake Paul's fights look like they've been staged. So let's say this is a real fight, this is the real deal. Listen, man, Chavez Jr. has never been the greatest boxer out here. He's lacked in discipline, he's lacked in the sport, but nevertheless, he is a credible opponent. Jake Paul, on the other hand, I don't know, you know. Some of the fights look staged. Some of the knockouts look like the guys have been paid. With that being said, the problem child is taking on Chavez Jr. this weekend. Let's take a look at both men's professional record. Yes, I said professional record. Listen, box rec. This is Jake Paul's professional record. Alright, cool. Let's get into it. 11 wins, 7 coming via knockout, and 1 loss. Let's take a look at Jake Paul's actual professional record. So he's fought 3 professional boxers. 1 Tommy Fury, 1 Andre August, and 1 Ryan Berlin.
Icon Oscar de la Hoya has expressed significant support for this fight's competitive worth, since Jake Paul has frequently faced weaker opponents who weren't a true danger. He views Chavez Jr. as a significant improvement in competition. De La Hoya thinks Jake's abilities will finally be put to the test in this battle because of Julio's background, as well as the unpredictable and resilient nature of his character. He called this Jake's most challenging assignment to date.
I'm really excited because the only reason I got involved with this is because he's fighting a real fighter now. Julio Cesar Chavez went 12 rounds with Canelo. He is an ex-world champion in boxing. So this is a real legit fight. I'm looking forward to it. I'm obviously questioning what Chavez Jr. will we see. Will he be in great shape? Will he not be in shape? Will he make weight? Will he do a lot of questions behind it? But ultimately, you have to tell yourself, Jake Paul, congratulations. This is a real first legitimate world champion fighter you're fighting.
Canelo back down and all that kind of stuff, but is this, you know, another name that just, like I said, gives the detractors more feel for their fighter? Does this help Jake at all?
I don't think it's really going to help him that much. I mean, it will in the sense that he's fought a legitimate fighter that actually was a professional fighter and a world champion. But to get him after a 5-year layoff and him being inactive is almost just like fighting Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the same thing. It's like an older guy past his prime who hasn't fought in a long time. You know, I guess he doesn't have an MMA career behind him, so maybe that's a good thing, but it's a lot of the same thing that people have always complained about.
But I think this is a fight that Jake can win. I mean, legitimately win.
Yeah.